I was actually talking to a girl at the time. That weekend, I was supposed to see her, but then she like ghosted me. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna go fucking do content. The rest is kind of history.
This is James Lee,
an LA-based entrepreneur who successfully built a jewelry business,
hitting $396,000 a year.
and he's able to do it with two things.
social media, and wedding rings.
September till now, I'm at like $297,000 in revenue.
You were getting millions of views. Why would anyone in their right mind change their content?
So I actually hated it. The most viewed video, it's like this ASMR video I made. And the reason why the ASMR video does so well is
Did you choose the wrong industry?
I think this industry is, fuck man, you can't really trust anyone. This ring right here, $7,000, right? If I hire someone, so I can take it. I started it knowing that if I show what I'm doing, people are gonna wanna buy. I had a client that hit me up literally that same day, and then
All right, how's it going, James?
how you doing, Ryan?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How you doing, bro?
How you doing, Thomas?
All right, so how about you kind of briefly introduce yourself, give them the rundown of what you do right now.
Okay, so right now I do jewelry manufacturing, like jewelry education. I show like the whole process of doing it, and basically that leads me into like getting clients to make videos on the jewelry. That's basically what I'm doing right now. I mainly focus on engagement rings. So if anyone out there is looking to get married, I know Thomas, you both have girlfriends.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's basically what I do right now. But I do want to transition to like do other type of jewelry too. But right now it's like the niche of like engagement rings. I'm kind of dialed in it right now. So I'm focusing heavy on it.
Yeah, so I know you have a family business, so can you kind of tell me more about how you got into making content around that?
We do gold coin manufacturing, and my dad's been doing it for like 10 years. I started back in middle school with him, working in it, watching him grow it. And my family was like conquering, let's go like domestically selling all to jewelry stores. And I was like, let me try to sell direct to the consumer. So I was building a website, everything. And I was like, oh, if I'm building a website, I need to market it, right? I need to market it somehow. So I started off actually doing YouTube vlogs. I did like 2 of them, really cringe, really awkward. And then I also did like basically to be like a personal content creator. And then that kind of just sucked. And I went to go talk to my friend Yitai. He's a clothing brand. And he's a clothing brand friend that I met in college. And he did content himself, but like content to sell products. And he told me, he was like, dude, this sucks. He literally straight up, he was like, this fucking sucks. Go share, like film what you're actually doing. Like the manufacturing, the jewelry and stuff like that. Because in my personal content before that, I wasn't really wanting to show what I did because it was more of like, I didn't want people robbing me, right? So I was like, fuck it, let's do some short form, like Yitai said. He thought I was doing jewelry. But realistically, I started with gold coins. So then that's when I started after that, talking to Yitai, I went to go film a short form video of how to manufacture gold coins. And that is basically how it all started, the beginning of the journey and like why I started to do it. And first video blew up, like 100K.
100K.
100, like, well, wait. First video blew up, like first 2 days, it was like 150K.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, it was like instant success.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, holy shit, this is crazy, right? And then the rest is kind of history, so yeah.
So could you tell me more about kind of what that video was like?
The video was like, okay, do you guys want to hear like a deeper meaning why I did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of funny. I was actually talking to a girl at the time. I was talking to a girl at the time, and then that weekend I was supposed to see her, but then she like ghosted me. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna go fucking do content. Because I already had in my mind, I was like, you know what, we gotta do something. If I'm not gonna see this person, might as well go do content. So that kind of triggered me to start doing content. What was the question again? Sorry.
So give me a rundown of like that first video.
Oh, okay. So it was funny that the day before that, I was really scripting the video of like, okay, what should be my first video? I really didn't have a true idea what I wanted to make. I just know like I did gold coins. I think the best thing to do was just to show the whole rundown of how to manufacture, right? Just like an educational video. And that video wasn't like, it was like really like straightforward educational videos of just like clips, me talking over the clips, just like step-by-step manufacturing, no humor, nothing. And yeah, I actually scripted it. That was the first, I used to script videos back in like middle school too when I used to do content. So I knew how to script a little bit. So I scripted that video and then I went to go film it.
So what year was that? Like when did you start getting your feet wet with content?
I did it like February of last year.
So as of now, it's been about a year and a half since you first started making content.
Exactly, yeah, a year and a half. It's been a while, and I've like pivoted like crazy.
Really? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, like I was doing gold coin manufacturing, and I did that for like basically build out a whole line. Like we sold these like really big gold coins, and then I went to build out like a small gold coin and even a smaller gold coin, and I tried to sell that, and then did that for about like February till December, right? Just pushing that stuff, selling it. I did really good. If you want to see the numbers, I did like 400,000, but by the way, margins are bad. $400,000 worth of gold coin sales my first year. But then something happened. I'm not gonna really go into that, it's kind of private. But like something happened where it's like someone, let's just say a bad client, right? And these gold coins, it's like you could sell it, and then if someone does something bad, like it's a credit card, so like they charge back, you can't do anything. So I had something like that, and I was like, oh, this is really bad. Like that's not good at all. So I kind of took a step back from that, and then I pivoted to doing jewelry in January. And that, my jewelry content is basically like, how do I say this? My jewelry content now is, before it was like manufacturing, step down everything. Jewelry content kind of followed that, right? Manufacturing, like how to make it and everything, and like the details with it. And then obviously now I add like story time into it of like how, like the people that I'm making it for. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I pivoted to.
You mentioned that, when you started, it was more manufacturing focused, behind the scenes, 5 steps, right? But after that point, from what I do understand, you started putting your face in the content, right? So tell us more about that founder-led marketing strategy.
Okay, so you're 100% right. My first few, the beginning content of manufacturing, it's easy. It's like you just film a bunch of clips, then talk over it, right? So you can change the script anytime you want, right? But now that I converted to jewelry, I'm like on the camera a lot. My face is always there talking, so you have to really perfect the script before you go into it. And that's when I would say when I was starting to pivot into jewelry, this is so like Alex, like so manosphere, but I watched Alex Hormozi talk about like story time. Like story time is the way to sell products, right? Like you can be salesy all you want, but if you can't tell a story, then what the hell, right? So I basically was like, okay, I gotta learn how to tell stories. Right? Tell stories about my life, tell stories of everything. So if you actually go watch my jewelry content, there's sometimes I talk about like jewelry, I talk about my life, I talk about my personal life, and then my background too. So that's basically me pivoting into like telling all this story-based like content now.
Yeah, you know what I find really interesting? Like going back to when you're making gold coin content on YouTube, like you were getting millions of views.
Yeah.
Right? So why would anyone in their right mind change their content when they're getting millions? So tell me more about that.
That's actually a great question. I'll be honest, not a lot of people ask me that. So I actually hated it. That's actually something I didn't like. Yeah, gold coin manufacturing is so boring. It's like very like straightforward, right? I talked about like everything in it, like the whole process of manufacturing, every little step, and then like just my background in it. And I was kind of like getting burnt out, like why, like I'm not passionate about this. It's more of like my family's thing. It makes good money, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think money is everything too. I think I wanted to do things that was a little more creative, right? And if you look at like rings and stuff like that, there's like so much creativity that goes into this little thing. So that's kind of why I like pivoted. That's why I was really happy about transitioning from like gold coins to jewelry.
With the storytelling, you say story time is so important, right? We talked before this, something that you said is that you think about the emotion before writing your scripts. Can you go deeper into your process of writing a story? Right? What does that look like?
Okay. So writing a whole story, I would say, since all these videos are me like face talking, like you said, I have to like write the whole script out and everything. To write out a good story, to write out a good video, I think everyone knows this, even you guys know this, is the hook number 1. I think that's where we spend like the most time, is the number 1 hook. And then now my videos are based off like hook, and then go into like the story of like who I'm making it for, like how I got the ring order or whatever. But it has to be very entertaining and engaging. And then also transition then into like the manufacturing process, the little details, the micro details of every single piece. And then, yeah, that's basically kind of how I do it. Yeah.
From front to end, there's so many aspects of this video that are necessary for it to come together, right? When it comes to conversions and getting people to watch the video entirely, is there any one particular segment that you find to be the most important?
I think it's humor. I think it's obviously you can tell like how to say this. Like you can have a really good story, you can have a really good engaging like just like how to educate people, right? But then if they're watching like an educational video and it's step by step, I feel like you should always have your own personal touch to it, whether it's like you have like a little joke in there or like you have the way you do like your filming or something like that. Just like some little touch. My little touch and my personal little touch is like humor. I always try to add a little like jokes here and there so people are more engaged. People want to like stick around and watch longer. Yeah, I think that's basically it.
With that, right? So you were documenting yourself building this jewelry business, right? And you really started focusing on building that personal brand, showing that personal side. How did that translate then to converting to getting more clients for your business? Did you notice that when they would talk with you, there was more trust, right? Things like that.
That's a good question too. So when I was converting to doing jewelry, I think if you guys watch back, I started the series like day one of like making 100K with jewelry, right? And it was like very transparent. I would show how much money I'm making, which is kind of bad. I look back at it, I'm like, it's kind of dangerous, especially in the jewelry industry. People know where I am. But I was doing like everything, like very transparent, very behind the scenes of like the clients, not really the clients I'm working with, but like me getting clients, me getting orders, like the jewelry pieces I'm working on, me building a whole piece from like start to finish, and then talking about like the little intricacies that not everyone thinks about, like down to the millimeter. So what was the question again? Fuck.
So it was more so, the fact that you're documenting your journey, right? Building more personal stories into that mix versus just straight education, right? And just seeing how that translated into you getting more business, you getting a better relationship and more trust specifically.
I think it really struck me when I think like probably a month into like doing the whole the day series, right? I had a client that hit me up and they were like literally that same day, and then they were like, I want this, like this ring you made already, I want this exact one. I sent him like the quote, and then within an hour he like sent me like $2,500 through Zelle. And I was like, what the fuck? Like this guy just believes me like that much, right? I could just dip with this money and not do anything, which is I won't. I really won't.
Promise, trust him. Good guy. He's a good guy.
So that was like the turning factor where I was like, holy shit, people trust me with like thousands of dollars, right? So after that time, I was like, okay, I think what I'm doing here is like correct, and I'm gonna keep doing it, which is basically like, behind the scenes, just educating people on jewelry. And I think that's what people like. People want to be educated. People want to learn. People want to know, and that like and all people want to see behind the scenes, right? One, because the education, it kind of teaches them and it shows them that you're educated on jewelry. And then the behind the scenes shows them that you're also like a person, like they built this like,
Humanize the brand.
Yeah, they humanize the brand, and they build like a connection with you as a person, right? They know your sense of humor, they know who you are and like how hard you work. And some people just want to support the grind, so surprisingly, so yeah.
So you build a community on a whole variety of platforms, right? You're on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. Which of these platforms has been most monumental for your growth?
I would say gold coins, it was YouTube, 100%. Instagram is the jewelry. The jewelry, like I get so many inquiries from there, and I think that platform is like, every time I post something, I'll easily get like, I don't want to flex, but it's like easily like 50 at least, right? 50. If it's a bad video, then maybe like 50. But like if it's a really good video, then it'll blow up to like a lot. And then Instagram also has like a great DMing platform. So that's when people can just like message me, and I can just like educate them on like, hey, this is how much it's going to cost for this and all that stuff. Are
these people serious? Like serious buyers?
I would say some of them are just asking questions of just like how much it would cost, everything like that. Then they forward it to their husband or something, or their fiance, or their boyfriend, I mean. And some people are just like curious of like some like, the price of a certain thing, and they don't do anything afterwards. Yeah. But I would say Instagram has got me like majority of my clients.
I think what's really interesting there is that even though some of these people aren't looking to buy jewelry off of you, they come to you for questions, right? Mm-hmm. So they see you as a trusted source, as you said, to shed light on this whole industry. Has this been a tactical thing that you've done? Like building this authority, making people believe that, oh, he's the person that knows what he's talking about, let's go to him? Or is it did it just come with the territory of making the videos that you enjoyed?
I think I I think for me, it was, I think in the beginning I was like, okay, people, like how to say this? I think in the beginning I would post like stories of like me doing rings and no one would hit me up because no one knows me, right? But this is before I started doing content. And then I was like, I think if I want people to know what I do, I just gotta like show it and talk about it so I can get more inquiries. I think that just works for everything. Like, I started it knowing that if I post what I'm doing and I show what I'm doing, people are gonna wanna buy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to break down the numbers, right? So if you're willing to be transparent. So let's start with content, right? So across all platforms, what are your subscribers? What are your followers? Let's start there.
Okay, so YouTube is kind of crazy, and it's weird because I think YouTube doesn't really have like, how do I say this? Like if I post a long form, I'm sure no one's gonna watch it, right? But the YouTube Shorts are kind of crazy, so they blew my following. I'm at like 190K, which is insane. But I'm just like, to me, it's like I don't know if they're like true followers. You know what I mean? But since we're talking about followers, on I think TikTok it's like 46 or 36. I forgot, one of those. And then Instagram is like about to hit 30.
For the numbers again, like which video has the most views and how many views is that?
Okay, so the most viewed video I think is like, it's on YouTube. It's like this ASMR video I made. And the reason why the ASMR video does so well, this is like a tip for everyone. ASMR is good for views because you're hitting like people that don't speak English, right? So it's people that are Russian, people are like Chinese, everyone that's like, I know because people were commenting on it. So I think that one has cumulative, I don't even know. I think on YouTube it's like 20 something mil. And then on TikTok, it's like 14 mil? I don't know. But yeah, something like that. Tens of mils at least.
Gotcha. And then in terms of revenue numbers, can we go through that, right? So through content, how much money have you been able to make with your business?
Let's just talk about jewelry. As of right now, without adding in October, I think October I'm at like, okay, let's not add in October, because October I haven't really calculated yet, but September till now, I'm at like $297,000 in revenue. As of right now, of just like custom jewelry. But the margins are okay. Let's go with that. The margins are okay. Not too bad.
That's a huge number, right? That's a big accomplishment. So congrats on that. But so you're building this jewelry business. You're making content too. These are two completely separate machines that you have to like run at all times, right? Yeah. How do you deal with the load of dealing with both of these things?
I think you just have bad mental health. I think that's like, I think everyone goes through that, right? Like in the beginning stages, especially. You have to figure out how to build out a team. I still haven't built out a team, honestly.
So one man show?
One man. Okay, actually for my jewelry, I'm hiring. I did make a video. I'm hiring someone, but that's basically my sister. She's basically dealing with some clients now, and then she's learning how to do 3D designs, so she can basically hands-on with like the designing process of like the clients, right? Too. And I have another friend. His name is Terrence. He's like a elementary friend of mine. And he helps with like manufacturing and also like running around downtown LA for me. So my jewelry side is like, it's like I just need to set it up a little more, right? I need to set it up a little better. My sister's learning 3D CAD now, so she can't be there the whole time. So now I'm back into like doing the work. But when she comes back in, she's gonna be taking more of the responsibilities and do more of the admin work, right? But then the content side, it's like all me. Like I film, I edit, no, I script, film, edit, and then post, and then yeah. Other than that, I get like brand deals, but then I have like a manager for that. But yeah, I try not to do that too much.
Per video, how many hours does it take? Like start?
Oh shit. Yeah, it depends on the video. Some videos are like just me shooting the shit, or I'm just like talking into it, and then it's like, and then I'll like clip over real quick and I'm done. So that'll probably take like scripting about like an hour, probably like a little more, like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then filming it is like 20 minutes. I think filming is the easiest, right? Filming is the easiest, and editing probably another hour for those. But then like those are just like non-high quality, just shooting the shit, just talking. But then for like actual high quality ones, the ones that are like filmed with a camera like that you have, those take like, oh my God, holy crap. Sometimes I'll edit for like a day or two. It's kind of bad. I don't know why it's so bad, but like, okay, I'll script for, I'll like, okay, this is a scripting process if everyone wants to know. So you script it out first, and then I go, the second time I reread the script and then see if I can change anything, edit it, right? If I need to move this around so it sounds better, this around so it sounds better. And the second time around, maybe it'll come out kind of good. Then the third time I go in and add some sense of humor. So I throw in jokes, I throw in other stuff, and then I come back one more time, and then I like, is it good? Everything's solid? Okay, we're good. Now I go film. It's kind of a lot. That takes like probably like a day or two.
Yeah. So for the scripting concept, like you have a concept that you want to make. Where does that start? Is it the hook, or is it the beef of the story, or like where does that start?
Yeah, I think like I have an idea of like what it's gonna be. Of like, I think this will be interesting. Like I'm making a piece right now, and then a portion of it is like this interests me, so I'm gonna go talk about it, right? So I start like that, and then I don't think like I haven't even like sometimes I won't even think of the hook yet. I'll just think of like, okay, what can I talk about in here? How can I tell the story? Like all that stuff, and then eventually when I start scripting, then I'll like figure out the hook.
Interesting. Yeah. So for you, what makes an interesting video specifically?
To analyze your own content is so difficult, right? But I think too, what makes an interesting video is if someone can watch it and then get something out of it, right? It's not like some brain rot content, right? Not to like roast people who do brain rot content, but like if someone's watching it and then they're like learning something, they're being educated, and also like I said, might sprinkle a sense of humor in there, then I think that makes like a really solid video, right? And then also the topic has to be interesting. Like sometimes you can't just make a video on like a diamond sometimes, right? Like diamonds are kind of boring, everyone knows it. So you gotta do something else, like the mechanics of like a ring, right? So yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I'm curious for you, is there anyone else in your industry making the content that you're making?
Damn, that's actually a good question. Okay, I don't want to shit talk, but it's like, okay, I think there probably is a handful of people that do what I do, right? I haven't seen it realistically. There is like, I mean, there's like one Asian guy, he like does content like this, but he doesn't really speak English that well, so he's okay at it. But I think majority of people, they just do ASMR, right? These like jewelers, these other people, they just film like someone working on it or them working on it. And then those videos do really well, but they're not really tapping into like the emotional side of things or like the story-based type of things, right? That's what I've noticed with a lot of people. And also sometimes there's people who just like, they'll just show, I just made this ring, but they don't really talk about the behind the scenes or like how they made it, right? So that's what I've noticed a lot. And that's actually why I got into like the educational, because I noticed people were not, like that is a niche, that is a side of things people hasn't tapped into yet. So I thought that would be more fun to talk about. And also it's just fun, right? I think it's more fun than like, here's a ring. Like, what am I gonna, there's so much you can say, right? So yeah.
What's the biggest struggle you faced in your business?
The biggest struggle I think hiring people. Man, I think that's like everyone's struggle, right? If I talk to people, they're like, dude, hiring the right person is so hard. I haven't really dove into hiring that much, which I really should. But I think, the reason why hiring people is so hard is because right now I'm so focused on the business and doing everything in the business. I think when you're hiring someone, it's like, you have to do all your jobs and on top of it, add someone like I think we talked about this before. It's like interview 10 people, right? And then like pick the 2 that are the best, then give them another task to do and see who does it the best. It's like that, right? On top of all your jobs. So I haven't even tapped into that yet. So I think it's not the hiring that's hard. I think the hiring will get hard. It's just, I'm just so busy with work that I haven't really grown the business, right? It's like me working and then now it's like my sister slowly getting into it. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part.
How about like biggest mistake? Did you choose the wrong industry?
Great question, actually. I think this industry is, fuck, man. Okay, I don't want to scare people away from doing this industry. I think this industry it's a lot of hustle, right? It's a lot of hustle. You can't really trust anyone, right? If I hire someone, it's this ring right here, $6,000, $7,000. I'm like, hey, can you pack this, ship it away? This guy can take it, dip, sell it, right? So I think this industry has its ups and downs. I think to scale this business, if I were to scale it, it would be very stressful, right? Versus scaling, I mean, there's like grass is greener on the other side, but I do think if I were to scale this business, it would be very difficult. I think the trust aspect is very hard. There's people who have figured it out and like, I'm sure that they still get shit stolen, but the trust aspect is like the hardest, right? That's why in this industry, it's a lot of generational wealth because it's all family members working in it. Because at the end of the day, you can trust your family. Maybe they'll steal, but their family, it's like, fuck it, right? So I would say this industry is a little difficult. So if anyone's getting into it, I would warn you, like, just know that it is hard to scale. It is hard to scale, and it is going to be like you will maximize at a certain amount, but then if you're not selling like more high quality jewelry, so the revenue is like per product is a lot more, you're not going to make that much.
What's the most amount of clients you've gotten from content alone?
Right now I'm at 20-ish clients, right? And that has been, I think right now I'm like definitely to the point where I'm like, this is my max capacity, right? Before it was like 10, 15, it's doable. You know, I would definitely be stressed out a little bit doing jewelry, but now I'm at like 20. And I'm like, holy fuck, if I don't figure out how to like have someone manage 5 or 10 people, then I'm going to be stressed out this whole time, especially on top with doing content.
Okay, so anyway, when it comes to going viral, do you think chasing views is actually a distraction to the business?
Fuck, man, that's a good question. I think chasing views is really bad. I think when you chase views too much, you're doing things that you won't even like. I fell in the trap of that with gold coin manufacturing, gold chain manufacturing, where I built this whole content empire, and they want to keep seeing these type of contents where I don't even want to do it. And that's basically me chasing the views, and those views did really well. I think you should never chase views. You should just chase like making videos that you really like, and making like high quality videos that you really like, and then that is better off. Like you'll be better off in the end.
But if we follow that advice, what if you never grow?
Just get 9 to 5. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you never grow, that's a good question, actually. I think content is always going to be like, in the beginning, it's a numbers game, right? I feel like in the beginning, you're always going to be, you post as much as possible, right? Because every time you post, you have incremental growth. And if you're really failing, you're really not analyzing your fucking content. That's what I gotta say. Like if you're really failing and you're not growing, you're not analyzing your content, you're not seeing what truly works and and it's also like what truly works and what you enjoy. You gotta mix those two. So in my opinion, if you're not growing, it's not really it's more about like yourself and how like you're doing your content.
If you were to give yourself one piece of advice to your younger self, what would that be?
Okay, if I'm sitting in front of myself right now, talking to my year and a half ago person, I would say just post more consistently, and don't be worried about the views in the beginning, right? I think back then I was very like anxious, like, oh, I post something, it's gonna suck, it's not gonna do well. Just keep posting, don't worry about what people think about your content, because at the end of the day, like you're always gonna be thinking what people are gonna be judging you, right? Eventually things will work out. Okay, when you post, I would say look at the video again, pick what you did bad, pick what you really enjoyed, and then obviously take out what you don't like, and then keep the ones that you do like.
So I guess now we can segue into the content strategy, right? So we're gonna share our screens here for people who are watching on YouTube or Spotify. We're gonna break down what we think are the 3 most important content pillars that we want the viewers to see.
That was my first time seeing this. Damn. I did not know they built this.
Hey, Ryan from Creativers here. We really hope that you're liking the video so far. If you're a creator, founder, or brand curious about doing something similar, but you're struggling to tell your story online, you can download our Creator Brand Playbook for free. Inside, you'll find the strategies Thomas and I have used to grow ourselves so you can identify your North Star and develop a winning content strategy. And you can find the link in our description below. And if you're serious about learning, then consider joining the Creator Database, a library of case studies on the top creators and brands where we break down exactly how they did it and what you could learn from their success. All right, that's it for now, and back to the pod.
So there's 3 content pillars that we observe from you, right? First one is documentation, second one is storytelling, and third one is education. Some of this is mixed between each other, but we want to go with the first one, right? So you talked about earlier the 100K challenge. So we have a perspective on what we think of why that works, but let's watch the first video. This is day 1, 350K views. So let's run this.
I'm launching a jewelry brand, and my goal is to hit 100K in profit by the end of this year. That is going to include custom jewelry sales and
5 seconds passed, right?
Dopamine.
Why did this video do well?
I think it's the dopamine, man. I think we all know like 5 seconds into the video, fast-paced clips, I'm constantly moving things. Yeah. That's why it does really well.
Yeah, I noticed, you have immediately like in the...
profit by the end of this year.
I have a dog also in the background.
Your dog in the background too? Yeah. You have the extra movement, so there's depth of field there.
Yeah.
And then here, 3 seconds in, immediately just throwing a freaking... What's it called? Time-lapse.
Time-lapse.
It's going to include custom jewelry sales and online e-commerce sales. Day 1, let's recap. Since the start of the new year, I put...
Insert a funner clip. Yeah. There's a humor.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so is this like your room, your bedroom?
This is my bedroom actually. But the reason why I do my dog here, if you want to think about it, is because people are going to comment.
Yeah.
It's going to trigger the algorithm more.
Smart.
Right? That's why people are like, oh, you have a cute dog, so they comment. That's another thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Analyzing content is pretty good actually.
Posted all of January, which is 31 days in a row. And while posting, I already hit 15K in revenue from custom jewelry sales. I'm not gonna.
All right, so that's the social proof, right? People are like, damn, he's already in the game. He knows what he's talking about, right?
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Do you know how many followers this video gave you?
It was 8,373.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can screenshot and send it to you guys so you can film it. It's off of this one video, which is insane. When I was doing the content like this, the documentation, everyone that was buying jewelry from me, they're like, bro, I want to support you. Like, I've been following along since the beginning. Like, you are like so inspirational. Yeah. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's what's interesting specifically with shorts is that it's becoming somewhat of like a TV series, right?
Oh, yeah.
So episodes, right, days in the lives, it helps develop buy-in. People are invested so that they'll continue to watch every single video and it's not dependent on virality.
Right, and like I think James, in your videos you have like video 1, video 2.
Yes.
Right, so like you can track the progress, right? Oh crap, I missed a week. I got to go back and watch the other one, right? Exactly like that.
To talk about profits yet because I don't want my customers knowing how much I made off them, but we'll get into it in the future. Also in those 31 days, I was building a website and curating a jewelry line for it. And I'm gonna be truthfully honest, I don't know exactly what I want to put on the site yet. And I think that's okay because it's gonna be a little more exciting to document it and figure it out with you guys. So to start, I do wear jewelry and nothing out of the ordinary. So that's the type of jewelry I'm gonna start off with. Kind of like daily essentials. By the way, this is not gonna be cheap and super affordable jewelry because I like working with precious metals like gold and silver. Plus I only design high quality products.
So you mentioned that you only work with high quality materials, right? Is this a way to segment the audience, make sure that you get the right people?
100%. I'm trying to like narrow down my audience, right? Like if you want to buy from me, I'm not going to make something, no offense, but like stainless steel or like,
It's cheaper.
yeah, it's like I'll do like certain precious metals, silver, gold. I just want that type of audience.
It's interesting because by saying this, you can like turn off a lot of people, right? Because they might not have the income to be able to buy this level of jewelry. But at the same time, you allow for a greater conversion percentage.
Yeah, you're on the dot, yeah.
Okay,
100%.
That's good. All right, we can go on to the next one.
Yep, so the next one is storytelling, right? So this one has 280K views. Let's just play it. And it will cover specifically like a client that you had.
Dude, this looks nice.
Hello.
Stop there. That's already the start, right? So like that is a technique, right? So like, how did you pick up on that? And like, why do you think that works?
Dude, that's actually crazy. I think I was just editing and I was like, as you're editing, you kind of just think about, like, since you have all the clips in front of you, you're like, oh, I think this will work good as a beginning, right? Because he says this looks nice, but you don't even show the product yet. And then it's like, who is this guy? All that stuff. He's like, you know, and then you go into the story. So that's why I was like, oh shit, it works. I don't know where I got it from though. Honestly, I don't know where I got it from.
It's like the FaceTime effect. Like you're calling your friend and then you're like, all right, hold up, let me prop this right here, right? So it definitely is just more raw, uncut, because everyone's used to everyone setting up the camera like this, prepared to film. So I think that's just a unique way to just change that relationship.
Yeah, because it definitely drives more attention that way. It's like, oh, this is something different. This is something I'm not used to. Okay, let's continue this.
Strangers, I made rings for friends of friends, but I quite haven't yet made a ring for a family member. Until now. This ring is for my older sister. Her boyfriend and me spent 6 months looking for the perfect pink diamond and designing and crafting the metal band with.
All right, music.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Bro, that is heartfelt. That's heartfelt. Can you tell me more about like how you chose this
It's
song?
actually really funny. Okay, I guess you want to know where I found it. It's from that one guy's Instagram. We follow each
It's
other.
James Al.
No.
Shout out to him though.
Shout out to him. You know me. Jung Garments. Jung.garments. Some guy in New York. He always has a song, and I was like, I want to use a song. It's so like good, right? And then that was why I did that. All right.
Look at the details he was able to gather up.
Dude, this looks nice.
Okay, and you more fix.
Looks too perfect.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Looks too big.
My bad.
I mean, I think she might like it too much.
Yo, yeah.
This right here. I think this is a big thing I'm seeing with a lot of people who are selling like a product or service. Like inserting those live like customer testimonials, right? Those reactions really just vouch for your product, right? Is that something that you like to do a lot?
I try to do it. It's so hard because like they're proposing. But this one was like, especially this one, it's like I was like for this video I have to get my family's reaction before he proposes to my sister. That was my goal of it. So yeah, I kind of thought about it beforehand.
Yeah, I like the fly on the wall like camera approach. It's just filming a very organic, raw moment.
Exactly. It's messy in the fucking background. It's not like this place.
Anyway, you wanna go with that one?
Good.
Yeah.
That was a throwback one.
So this is the one.
This is a throwback, dude.
Yeah, so just to clarify for the audience, this is an education video. And for you specifically, you're just educating them on the process of what it takes to create gold coins. Is that
Yo, this is gold chains actually, yeah. This is I forgot to talk about gold chains, yeah.
All right, let's see it.
I've never seen this in your life. This is a
Holy crap! 1 second. Okay, what is going on here? What's going on the screen right now?
I think it's just like no one has ever seen this. Like it's literally no one has ever seen it.
Could you kind of explain like what this?
Oh, the machine? So that machine is like you roll gold coins on this thing and it freezes it onto it. So and this thing spins like crazy, right? But it frozen the gold coins on it, gold chains on it. And then it's like a lathe machine. So then there's a knife that goes here and it cuts the gold chains as it's like spinning. So it'll like shave it down so you can have like a nice link.
So it's like standardized the size of each link in each individual link.
It's more of like the thickness of it. You cut down the thickness of it for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this video while I was looking at your content. I was like, the frick, like, what is going on? I think I see this as another reason why people could be interested in this specific video, right?
Yeah.
They see a whole contraption, like this old industrial style machinery here. You have no idea what's happening. There's this movement as well. It's going in a circle. And then you also have the hook that you say on top of it. It's more interesting.
Yeah, you've never seen this in your life.
Yeah, you've never seen this in your life.
I don't think anyone has ever, like, if you've seen this in your life, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? This is insane. And I think, wait, real quick, this is like my competitive advantage, I would say. Right? I do come from like a family background and everything, so I'm going to abuse it.
That's true, that's true.
I'm going to abuse the fuck out of like the content for it.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen this ever online before?
No, actually, I haven't seen that. No, now I have. I've seen a few more videos of it. After, like, when you go look for it, you'll see it. But for me, like, I hadn't seen anyone like blow up with it, right?
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's continue watching it.
lathe machine spinning a frozen gold chain, making gold dust snow cones. I'm gonna show you how it works. This lathe machine has coolant flowing through its giant cylinder. This cylinder can get to about negative 20 degrees Celsius. The purpose of getting to those temperatures is so that when we wrap a gold chain around.
Yeah, I think another interesting aspect of this is that you're kind of walking them through the process. So there's the expectation that they have to watch until the end to see kind of the end product, right? Because you're going step by step. Like you're painting that picture, but until you finish, you don't know what the outcome is going to look like. So it also incentivizes someone else to continue watching till that end part.
Yeah, that would definitely increase the engagement. Yeah, it's like people want to watch the whole thing to like know what happens to the final product.
So question, did this convert though?
It convert? Oh, actually, this is, this one, I never sold the gold chains online. This was like when we were starting to manufacture and everything. If you want to know a little about the lore, the machine broke down. So I was like, oh fuck. So that's why I pivoted too. Yeah, the machine broke down. So I never really converted. But I think this video, if I did have it online for sale, people would buy it.
Well, imagine TikTok shop with this.
Dude, I know. Problem is like it's so expensive, but dude, honestly, this video did really well. So
there's a whole niche of this stuff going on, right? Where you have a lot of industrialized machinery, and it's so novel to the viewer that they're interested in, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right? So that seems to be a really big retention tactic that this video rides on top of. Right?
I think nowadays though, people want to see like behind the scenes of everything now, right? Because everyone works at, like I think talking about Ryan, everyone works at an office. Everyone's doing like something different, doing a 9 to 5, right? And they're just working at home doing this. They want to see something different.
So we have a closing tradition on this podcast that we just started today.
I didn't know.
If you want to shout out anything about the work that you've done, or shout out any upcoming projects you have.
If you want to check out my socials, my Instagram handle is itsjameslee_. Right now I'm doing I specialize in engagement rings, and my content is mainly engagement rings, but I'm eventually transitioning to do other types of jewelry, tennis bracelets, chains, and I'm going to be building my website. So stay tuned for that, follow along, and I am most likely going to be documenting that part of my journey.
Anyway, guys, that was the pod. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
There's no way that's a part of it.
Honestly, the editing part, I feel like the editing shoot the shit is pretty good.
Dude, you're right. You just gotta start with shooting the shit.